Hi everyone, I am Sarah, and this is my first very YouTube channel, and then also the very first video. And in this YouTube channel, I'm gonna be talking about Inca cosmology, and it's gonna evolve, and I will be explaining over time uh, how is it evolving. But I wanted to start giving you a background of why am I doing this, and I'm really getting out of my comfort zone. First of all, because English is my second language, and sometimes I'm a little shy to speak in public, and this is like speaking to the world. And so I am really like doing my best here, but I really wish that whatever I'm sharing with my heart, and it gets to whoever is ready for this information. And so, why did I decide to talk about Andes cosmology? Well, first of all, I am from Peru, and but I was never taught in history about the way of being of our ancestors, the Incas. We only learned the history from the side of the colonizers. Like we were conquered by the Spanish, and then we took the Spanish way, and now we are a mixed population. But what the Incas knew back then, what they were practicing back then, I have come to realize that it's more than what we call modern, and it was very civilized in the sense that they weren't thinking that civilization was about warfare, destroying the planet, imposing your will onto others by force, like we do, and what we think is modern, and is being the best country in the world. Well, I came across the Queros. The Queros are the last descendant of the Incas, and this story that I'm going to share with you has not been shared in the history books. This is fairly new history because nobody knew that the Queros existed until less than 50 years ago. But the thing is, like, when they came out and they told uh, the world, or they told people in Peru that they existed, they did so in the Quechua, old Quechua language, not Spanish. So they actually had to be translated by other people, and in being translated by other people that are translating from a different worldview, from a different mindset, well, the message gets lost, right? So recently, the Queros themselves have learned Spanish, some of them, not all of them, just a handful, and they're beginning to share their wisdom with us. And so, what this has happened in, I'm talking for a lot of people, I'm gonna share my personal experience, is that in applying the cosmology that these Incas priests knew back then, and that their descendants, the Queros, have kept most of it, not all of it, but most of it. Um, it's very profound in the sense that it it welcomes you to a different cosmology where you understand yourself and your relationship with Earth, with the cosmos, with the universe, you can put it that way, out there, in a very scientific way. But at that time, obviously, it was not understood. It was looked upon because there was a lot of dogma. And 500 years ago, there were wars with religion and all that. So, and at that time, these Queros understood. I mean, the Incas priests, or you could call the Incas scientists, um, well advanced scientists, because they, in a way, what they practice, it was a hybrid of scientific knowledge with spirituality all in one. It was not separate. They knew that this body, uh, that we are more than this body, and so, but we are in the body, so you have to keep a good balance between this planet and whatever is out there that we don't fully get to grasp even at this point in history. And so they knew a lot of things that people from back then weren't ready to listen. And maybe a lot of us are still not ready to listen because we are still trapped by a lot of dogmatic ideas that is not really us, because who we really are is not ideas, it's just existence. When I mean the Keros priest, I know our mind immediately makes us think about a religion or a deity, something to worship. But this is not the case for the Keros. The Inca temples, the priests from that time, they were a hybrid of scientists with spiritual leaders like the Dalai Lama. So for them, the temples had to have a purpose for the expansion of consciousness of mankind. So when you actually visit their temples, it's not to worship something and to feel like you are nobody. This is actually the temples were created and designed and built in perfect geological and geodesic zones so you could activate energy centers in your body that help you expand your consciousness. So these temples were created with that purpose. And the priests, their function was to maintain the equilibrium of men. That's the introduction. But I wanted to say, why am I sharing this? I have to have a purpose. Like, I just don't want to know history because I just think it's cool and great. But I want to learn from history. How can I apply it in my life? How can it make my life better? How can make my society better, the world better? You know, and this is what I'm sharing. Well, when I found out about this, I've always been kind of like an optimistic person. People consider me very happy, but I always wonder what was more about life. Is it just this? Why are we so inclined to be like everybody else, yet we feel unique? We feel wanting to be like everybody else. Like if you see around in your home and your friends, if suddenly everybody's going to school, you want to go to school. If one is getting married, you also want to get married. So you feel unique. You're trying to be just like everybody else, following a standard of society that it doesn't make you unique, but it actually makes you look like a robot, like a programmed robot. So is that really you? Is that really who you are? Well, for the Keros, that's not you. I hope this got your attention. And I also, before I finish this video, I want to really thank the Keros and especially the reference that I had. His name is Nicholas Paukar. He's a Kero priest, and he was my first reference, the first teacher that I learned from, to put it this way. And for whoever is interested, I translated his book, The Language of a Kero, in English just because, for the same reason that I started this video with. I just felt like if people knew to integrate this cosmology in their lives, the whole world will be peaceful and we all will be happy or happier. Anyways, give me a like if you have any questions. Please write a comment. I will be happy to answer questions. It's to me it's a little weird to be creating videos because I gotta see the video in front of me. So it seems like I'm having a conversation with my own self, which is a little weird. But anyways, I hope you like this, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Until next time, bye.